Hello, health champions. Today we're going to talk about what happens to your body if you stop sugar for 30 days. Now, everyone has been told that you shouldn't eat sugar, and yet you probably do. So I believe the reason for that is that you don't have a strong enough why. There's all these things we know we should and we shouldn't do, but we don't have a strong enough why. We don't have enough context of how important it is and what impact it does. We've also been told that you should exercise. Then why don't you? And my favorite is when you go to the doctor and you get a diagnosis of type 2 diabetes or insulin resistance or high blood pressure, and now they say you should lose weight. If you just lose weight, that will go away. And then they give you insulin and medication that makes it absolutely impossible for you to lose that weight. So today I'm going to give you a very, very strong why. I'm going to give you lots and lots of reasons. But first we have to understand that it's not about the weight. It's about what you eat and what hormones it triggers. And the worst thing that you can eat is sugar, because sugar will drive insulin resistance. And sugar will also drive cravings, because sugar is a drug. It's not a food. It's not about filling you up or how many calories it has. It's a drug. And then insulin resistance will also give you cravings, because when you're insulin resistant, you're in a state of fat storing. Insulin turns off fat burning, so you can't retrieve all that fat that you have stored. And if you can't retrieve it, your body is looking for more food and you get cravings. And if insulin is fat storing, and if it prevents fat burning, then insulin resistance will also lead to obesity and overweight. And of course, if you have cravings, if you eat when you shouldn't, if you eat the wrong things, now that will also lead to obesity. But that health problem you have, that diagnosis, that disease, it's not related to obesity. It's related to insulin resistance, which causes inflammation. The insulin resistance causes disease, the inflammation causes disease, and the sugar causes disease. So if you look at this, you see that it's all about sugar is in the middle. Insulin resistance is of critical importance because it drives inflammation, disease, cravings, and obesity. And if you notice, there is nothing about calories in this chart, because that is not what it's about. It's not the number of calories. It is the quality of the calories that determine if you get insulin resistance and cravings and inflammation and so forth. And the first thing that happens when you cut out sugar is you get healthier teeth. You get less cavities, you get less gum disease, you get less plaque, which is that film that grows on your teeth. So there are two different things that feed the bacteria that cause the diseases on your teeth and your gums. And one is if you eat starch, that's the flour and the rice and so forth, that breaks down into glucose, and then in your mouth you have something called amylase. That's an enzyme that breaks down the starch into glucose starting in your mouth. So that's how you provide glucose for these bacteria. And then when you eat sugar, you make it even worse, because sugar is sucrose, which is 50% glucose and 50% fructose. And you don't produce enzymes in your mouth to break that down, but the bacteria that live there have the enzymes to break it down. And fructose is bad in one way because it's more acidic. And it's the acid. When these bacteria consume the fructose, it produces acid that eats holes in your teeth. The other part is the glucose, which isn't quite as bad in that sense, but the glucose is more sticky, so it forms more plaque, and that allows the bacteria to stick to your teeth to hang around. So if you're used to brushing your teeth 2 or 3 times a day to have them feeling clean, you'll be amazed that if you cut out the sugar and you cut out the processed starches and you reduce your carbs, how clean your teeth will feel even if you don't brush them all the time. Now, it doesn't mean that you should stop brushing your teeth, obviously, but it's great to have that fresh feeling even if you don't brush them all the time. And if you eat something, you know what that feeling is when your teeth get all sticky and they have that nasty film on them, then realize that meat and vegetables don't do that. When you cut out the sugar, you have less risk of gout, because fructose, which is again 50% of sugar, of added sugar, is fructose, and that increases the production of uric acid. But fructose is also the strongest component of creating insulin resistance and fatty liver, which also increases the production of uric acid. And then when you have too much, this uric acid forms crystals that can deposit in joints, and they're like little pieces of glass. They give you excruciating pain, and the most common place is to have it in the big joint of the big toe, but you could have them in any joint in the body. When you cut out sugar, you tend to stabilize your hormones overall. And the hormones we're talking about are cortisol and insulin. And what happens when you stabilize those is that you tend to stabilize all the other hormones as well to some degree. And the reason is these two hormones are emergency hormones. Cortisol is released in response to fight, flight, stress. That's an emergency. Also, very high blood sugar is an emergency because high levels of glucose can damage the brain. You can go into a coma with very high or very low blood sugar. So that's kind of an emergency. And that's why these two hormones always take precedence. They take the front seat, and all other hormones become secondary. And when you balance your hormones, you will tend to also get better quality sleep. And one reason is that you stabilize your blood sugar, then your insulin gets better, but you also stabilize your cortisol when you stabilize your blood sugar. Because if you have huge swings in blood sugar, anytime your blood sugar is low, that tends to increase your cortisol. So when you stabilize your blood sugar, you'll stabilize both cortisol and insulin. And cortisol is a hormone that shuts off your sleep hormone called melatonin. So stabilize those two and you will also stabilize sleep. Another reason you sleep better is that you probably will reduce the number of times you go to the bathroom during the night. In extreme cases like type 2 diabetes, then the kidneys will act as clearing glucose. It will start filtering out glucose when we exceed a certain threshold, and that glucose will take water with us, and we tend to go to the bathroom a lot. That's what diabetes means, that things just flow through you. And one thing you have to keep in mind, though, is that if you cut out the sugar and you go relatively low carb, now you're going to start burning through your glycogen, and that glycogen holds on to water. So when you burn through the glycogen, now you release all that water, which means the first night or in the very beginning of cutting out the sugar, chances are that you're going to go to the bathroom a lot more, but it's very, very temporary. It's probably just for that first night. When you cut out the sugar, you will also improve your brain function. And the reason is that sugar drives insulin resistance, meaning that the glucose can't get into the cells properly, and that includes the brain. So the brain doesn't get the proper fuel. Furthermore, when you have insulin resistance and you eat a bunch of sugar and processed foods, now you'll also tend to get a lot of blood sugar swings, a blood sugar roller coaster, which means you don't get stable energy supply to the brain, so that makes it even worse. So when you cut out the sugar, now you will also get improved and stable energy. And what that leads to in turn is that you get improved and stable mood. You will have much less of these roller coaster swings that affect your blood sugar and your energy and your mood. And that even includes things like anxiety and depression. When you stop the sugar, you will also get improved eye health because high blood glucose levels is the number one cause of retinopathy, meaning damage to the light-sensitive membrane at the back of your eye. Because that area has a lot of microvessels, has tiny, tiny blood vessels. And high blood glucose causes something called microvessel disease. And there's a number of different mechanisms for this, and you don't have to memorize all the details, but I really want you to know how well documented it is, the link between blood sugar and this kind of damage. So sugar causes advanced glycation end products that causes damage and inflammation. You have sugar causing oxidative stress and sugar and insulin resistance causing chronic inflammation. All of these can do damage in themselves to all the cells and all the structures of the body. But then high blood glucose, that sugar also ends up not just in the blood, but in the tissue surrounding. So that sugar is going to pull fluid
Can quitting sugar change your life? You bet it can. And the results might just surprise you. Hey everyone, it's Taiwo Falana. Today, we're diving deep into the transformative power of ditching sugar for 30 days. And to guide us on this journey, we have the incredible insights of Dr. Sten Ekberg, a man who transformed his own health by saying no to sugar. Dr. Ekberg's story is a testament to the fact that we have more control over our health than we think. Get ready to discover the hidden dangers lurking in your sugar bowl and how breaking free from its grip can lead you to a healthier, happier you. Let's embark on this life-changing journey together. We all know sugar isn't exactly a dentist's best friend, but did you know just how much damage those sugary treats are inflicting on your pearly whites? When you consume sugar, it interacts with bacteria in your mouth, creating acids that wage war on your tooth enamel. This acid attack weakens the enamel, making your teeth more susceptible to cavities. Sugar also fuels the fire of gum disease. Excess sugar creates a breeding ground for harmful bacteria in your mouth, leading to inflammation, redness, and bleeding of the gums. Over time, if left unchecked, gum disease can progress to a point where it damages the bones supporting your teeth, eventually leading to tooth loss. By eliminating sugar, you're cutting off the supply line for those harmful bacteria, giving your mouth a fighting chance to heal and regenerate. Dr. Ekberg often emphasizes the importance of a holistic approach to health, and oral health is no exception. When you quit sugar, you're not just improving your dental health, you're investing in your overall well-being. So ditch the sugary drinks and sweets and say hello to a healthier, brighter smile. Let's talk about hormones, those chemical messengers that orchestrate a symphony of functions in our bodies. When it comes to hormones, balance is key. And sugar? Well, sugar is the ultimate disruptor. Frequent sugar overload sends your body into a frenzy of insulin spikes and crashes, leading to a condition called insulin resistance. Insulin resistance is like a broken key. Your cells become less responsive to insulin's message, making it harder for sugar to enter. This leaves excess sugar circulating in your bloodstream, wreaking havoc on your body. By eliminating sugar, you're calming the blood sugar storm, allowing your insulin levels to stabilize and your cells to regain their sensitivity. So, if you're ready to feel more balanced and in control, it's time to break up with sugar. Gout. Just the word itself conjures up images of excruciating pain and inflammation. Gout is a type of arthritis caused by a buildup of uric acid in the body. Uric acid is a waste product produced during the breakdown of purines, which are found naturally in our bodies and in certain foods. When uric acid levels get too high, sharp crystals can form in the joints, triggering intense pain, redness, and swelling. Studies have shown a strong link between sugar consumption, particularly fructose, and increased uric acid levels. Fructose is metabolized differently than other sugars, and its breakdown process leads to a surge in uric acid production. By reducing or eliminating sugar from your diet, you're turning down the faucet on uric acid production. This can help prevent those painful gout flare-ups and protect your joints from long-term damage. Imagine a life free from the fear of sudden, excruciating gout attacks. Better brain function. Unlocking mental clarity and focus, sugar-free thinking. Our brains are incredible organs, constantly firing neurons and processing information at lightning speed. But just like any high-performance machine, our brains need the right fuel to function optimally. And sugar? Well, sugar is like pouring sand into the engine. Over time, excessive sugar consumption can lead to inflammation in the brain and impair cognitive function. Studies have linked sugar intake to problems with memory, learning, and even an increased risk of neurodegenerative diseases like Alzheimer's. Imagine waking up with mental clarity, feeling focused and sharp throughout the day, and easily recalling information. By eliminating sugar, you're hitting the reset button on your brain chemistry. You're giving your brain the chance to break free from the sugar-induced fog and function at its best. More stable energy. Kiss afternoon slumps goodbye. The power of sugar-free energy. We've all been there, that dreaded afternoon slump. Your eyelids feel heavy, your concentration wanes, and you'd give anything for a quick energy boost. But before you reach for that sugary snack or coffee, let's talk about the real culprit behind those energy crashes: sugar itself. Sugar provides a quick burst of energy, but it's a fleeting high followed by a crashing low. When you consume sugar, your blood sugar levels skyrocket, but this triggers a surge in insulin, which quickly ushers the sugar into your cells. This rapid drop in blood sugar leaves you feeling drained and sluggish, craving another sugar fix to bring you back up. By eliminating sugar, you're stabilizing your blood sugar levels, providing your body with a steady stream of energy throughout the day. Imagine feeling energized and alert from morning till night, without relying on sugary pick-me-ups. Improved eye health and lower risk of blindness. Protecting your precious eyesight. The sugar-free vision. Our eyes are precious gifts, allowing us to experience the beauty of the world around us. But did you know that sugar can pose a serious threat to our vision? It's true. High sugar intake is a major risk factor for eye diseases like diabetic retinopathy, cataracts, and even blindness. Diabetic retinopathy, a leading cause of vision loss, occurs when high blood sugar levels damage the tiny blood vessels in the retina, the light-sensitive tissue at the back of the eye. These damaged blood vessels can leak fluid or bleed, distorting vision and potentially leading to blindness. Sugar also contributes to the formation of cataracts, a clouding of the eye's natural lens that impairs vision. Excess sugar can cause the lens to become cloudy, making it difficult to see clearly. Imagine your vision remaining sharp and clear as you age, allowing you to enjoy the vibrant colors and intricate details of the world around you. By reducing or eliminating sugar from your diet, you're giving your eyes the gift of long-term health. You're lowering your risk of developing these sight-threatening conditions and preserving your precious vision for years to come. This next topic is a difficult one to discuss, but it's crucial to understand the very real and devastating consequences of uncontrolled blood sugar levels. One of the most serious complications of diabetes is an increased risk of amputation, particularly of the lower limbs. When blood sugar levels remain consistently high, it damages the nerves and blood vessels in the extremities, particularly the feet. This condition, known as diabetic neuropathy, can cause numbness, tingling, and pain in the feet, making it difficult to detect injuries. High blood sugar impairs circulation, making it harder for wounds to heal properly. Even small cuts or sores can become infected and develop into ulcers. By reducing or eliminating sugar from your diet, you're taking a proactive step towards protecting your circulation and reducing your risk of developing these serious complications. By understanding the risks associated with high sugar intake, you can make informed choices to protect your health and well-being. Our immune systems are our invisible shields, constantly working to protect us from harmful invaders like bacteria, viruses, and other pathogens. But just like any defense system, our immune system needs the right support to function optimally. Sugar suppresses the activity of our white blood cells, the frontline soldiers of our immune system. These cells are responsible for identifying and destroying pathogens, but when they're bogged down by sugar, their ability to fight off infection is compromised. Studies have shown that even short-term sugar consumption can significantly impair immune function. Imagine your immune system functioning at peak performance, quickly identifying and neutralizing threats and keeping you healthy and resilient. By reducing or eliminating sugar from your diet, you're giving your immune system the support it needs to thrive. You're creating an environment where your immune cells can function optimally, protecting you from illness and keeping you strong. Our skin is our largest organ, a protective barrier against the outside world, but it's also a reflection of our inner health. And what we put into our bodies shows up on our skin. Sugar, unfortunately, is one of those things that can wreak havoc on our complexion. Sugar triggers a process called glycation, where sugar molecules attach to proteins in our bodies, including collagen and elastin, the proteins that keep our skin firm and elastic. This process, known as AGEs, advanced glycation end products, damages these proteins, leading to wrinkles, sagging skin, and premature aging. Sugar also contributes to inflammation in the body, which can manifest as acne, redness, and other skin irritations. Imagine your skin glowing with health, free from blemishes, wrinkles, and dullness. By reducing or eliminating sugar from your diet, you're giving your skin a chance to heal and regenerate. You're reducing inflammation, protecting your collagen and elastin, and unlocking your inner glow. One of the most remarkable transformations that occur when you quit sugar is a complete reset of your taste buds. When we consume sugar regularly, our taste buds become accustomed to its intense sweetness, making natural, unprocessed foods taste bland in comparison. When you eliminate sugar, your taste buds undergo a remarkable revival. They become more sensitive to the subtle sweetness of natural foods, allowing you to appreciate the flavors of fruits, vegetables, and whole grains in a whole new light. By breaking free from the sugar trap, you're not depriving yourself of sweetness. You're rediscovering it in its purest, most natural form. So, if you're ready to embark on a flavor adventure and experience the true sweetness of life, it's time to ditch the sugar and embrace a world of natural, wholesome foods. Quitting sugar changed Dr. Sten Ekberg's life, and it can change yours too. Better brain function, balanced hormones, strong immunity, and long-term disease prevention, just by cutting out sugar. Remember, this isn't about deprivation, it's about empowerment. It's about taking control of your health and well-being by making conscious choices that nourish your body from the inside out. Join the sugar-free revolution today and experience the transformative power of a life without refined sugar. Comment below if you've tried quitting sugar. Subscribe for more natural health tips by Taiwo Falana.